trying to get me when I'm sneezing?
For today's cup of coffee.
How dare.
It's going to be a coffee slurping day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, some of this, either kid is going to have to carry the conversation on in between coffee slurps, or y'all can hear the coffee slurps.
Coffee ASMR. Coffee slurp
You know,
ASMR.
that's a thought. One of these days we really
People
are gonna,
like the coffee slurps.
We are going to have to do the ADHD ASMR.
That's just annoyance.
You all can see how we live. I'm better when I take my medication. I really am. I'm a fan.
Where the fuck did I put the spring? Speaking of ADHD.
Hey, you're bumping the microphone and everything.
I found it.
Oh, good God. It's cat toys. Cat toys, and he's got one.
Yeah, and I'm fidgeting with it. I use it as a fidget toy.
In case...
Now.
We love our cats. We really do love our cats.
Mm-hmm.
But they are melodramatic bitches. Every one of them came in. They've got a bowl that's got two sides, and it was full of food. And then we had one that was meow, 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 meow. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? Go in there, and they have special food. Well, Hilo is supposed to have special food that's supposed to be gentle on the stomach. That was out, and so had to give them that.
Loves it.
We're going to starve. We've got food over there, but we don't have food over here, and it's special food.
Gonna starve.
And a hair tie. For whatever reason, they will take one of those hair rubber band thingies and put that in their food bowl. We have yet to figure out what... And sometimes in the water dish. They would take the toys and put those in the water dish.
Yeah. Whether it was on purpose or by accident.
I don't
it would end
know.
up in the water dish.
And that's disgusting to have to try to dig that out of the water dish.
Just like cat spit.
Yeah, yeah, and then you have to clean that. But we love them. That's why we don't
they look
kill
us,
them.
and that doesn't gross us out. Until Milo decides to rub his actual teeth on me.
That's weird.
Now that grosses my ass out.
It's just weird. This has nothing to do. This is why I have to have extra coffee. That and having to go through Walmart. My God.
I'm tired.
Walmart.
No.
He's dropped his ADHD toy.
It flung. It went flying.
It's a spring.
Yeah.
If it ends up in my coffee, I will
hope it
beat
does.
you. I
hope it
really,
does.
really will. Have an interesting... Get out in front of the microphone. Good God.
Do you see what I mean?
If you angle at my coffee, this one comes from Ripley's Believe It or Not. They know better than to fuck with my coffee. I have boundaries, and some of them are very clear cut. And this is by Chris Littlechild, July the 8th of 2020.
So where's the big child?
I don't know.
Where's Chris Big Child?
I don't know. That's a good question. And this is The Legend of the South Texas Headless Horseman, El Muerto. Yeah.
Okay, so there's more than one.
Yeah.
More than one Headless Horseman.
Isn't that cool? Yeah.
Sort of.
We can start a trend. Anyhow, tales of decapitation have been told that leave us scratching our still attached heads. He's got a little bit flowery. He's been reading Mr. Swanser's work.
Apparently.
Everything from moving lips of Anne Boleyn's severed head to the 18-month surviving headless chicken named Mike. That was weird. I mean, it was
Headless chicken.
Had you never
Mike.
seen that?
No.
Yeah, that they had cut his head off and he didn't die.
How the fuck is that possible? Did they pump shit into him?
Yeah, they would drop corn and stuff down the esophagus.
Now how the fuck? But the brain!
I don't know, but I do know that it did happen. And I think that you can find videos on YouTube and stuff of Mike.
Mike the Headless Chicken.
Yeah. Hey, there's a lot of people.
That doesn't make a lick of sense. How do you prevent... Do you just put a fucking, like plastic wrap over the hole to prevent stuff from getting in it?
I don't know. I don't know. I never went that far into the research of the headless chicken.
Why not?
The other thing going, that's fucked up. That's pretty much all you could say about that.
Yeah.
So,
That's more than fucked up.
But taking it back to the most familiar headless character, this tale surrounds a very popular and creepy motif of urban legends, the idea of a phantom headless horseman. Or in the case of, oh goodness, I can't think of it was the comic book character that was the motorcycle rider. He was headless. Ghost Rider. That's who it was. Damn good comic book. Really was.
Good movie.
Yeah, that was Nicolas Cage, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Nick Cage. He is so weird. But I think he did do well in that one. It says, but we're not talking about the iconic horseman from Washington Irving's The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, but rather the obscure South Texan legend of El Muerto, or the Dead Man. Actually, it's just the dead. El Muerto. Who was a Mexican bandit who was killed by Texas Rangers, only to rise again and ride vengefully on his dark steed from beyond the grave. It says, as the story goes, in the mid-1800s, a Mexican bandit by the name of Vidal committed a crime in San Antonio that would doom him forever. Horse rustling, a deed he had already had a bounty on his head for. Now, people today sort of laugh about that.
Chicken rustling.
Being a horse thief back in the day, oh my God, that was absolutely... You didn't.
I mean, that was
you automatically were dead.
I mean, back then, that's like taking someone's car today.
Oh, it's more than that. I mean, it truly was worse than stealing somebody's vehicle. Slurp.
Slurp.
And it was just automatically. Somebody, if you was messing, it's like messing with my coffee. If you was messing with somebody's horse, that was grounds to shoot somebody right then and there. Remember, I've got a Glock and a Mossberg right over there in the corner. Don't be fucking with my coffee.
As I dangle the spring.
Right. It says some of the targeted horses from a particular raid belong to Creed Taylor, a Texas Ranger. So obviously Vidal was not that smart.
Yeah.
And needless to say, Taylor did not take this news well. During this period, Rangers were I started to say harsh lawmen, hardened to the burden of their duty and willing to commit heinous deeds in the name of justice. Well, not much changed on that.
Yeah.
At that time, after all, the border between the United States and Mexico was an issue that the two countries couldn't agree on.
Of course.
We got one of them that's got a problem with that these days. As a result
I wonder who you're talking about.
As a result of this discrepancy, there was a stretch in between the two nations that became a sort of no man's land. And crimes were plentiful and vicious here. Sure like today. So the Rangers, whose jobs were to stem the tide, had to be equally as ruthless themselves. But what Taylor and his fellow Rangers are said to have done to Vidal for his horse theft crime goes completely beyond the pale. And Taylor set to track Vidal and the rest of his henchmen across this inhospitable and very dangerous stretch of land. Joining him on the hunt for vengeance was a ranch owner who was also recently the victim of horse rustling, and his name was Flores, and another ranger who was William Alexander Anderson Wallace. He's got entirely too many names.
William Alexander Anderson
Wallace. Better known as Bigfoot. You always want Bigfoot on your side, people. You really do.
I mean, yeah, Bigfoot.
Vidal had timed his attack using a coinciding Comanche raid as a decoy. Most of the local ranch defenders left to fight off the Comanche threat, leaving the area vulnerable to Vidal and his small crew of bandits. Little did he know that Taylor and his small band were hot on the trail. The three soon tracked the criminals to their hideouts, waiting until night fell and ambushing the bandits while they slept. The defenseless outlaws were killed, but their deaths were not only the beginning. Now, think of this wording, defenseless outlaws. Okay.
The fuck? So, like, basically...
He's taking the side of the criminals on this.
I'm assuming he's like, oh shit, I'm assuming they didn't have their guns on them at the time. That's what I'm assuming. But they sure as hell were not defenseless.
Right. It says it was what was done to Vidal next that birthed the legend of El Muerto. Despite the draconian methods of warning from lawmakers, criminals and outlaws still failed to see the potential and often grim consequences of their unlawful acts, which meant that they were not afraid of the law.
Yeah.
Sort of like today. And as a result, a whole new level of harsh justice was needed. After being killed by Taylor and his crew, Vidal's corpse was said to have been beheaded and tied securely to his horse along with the decapitated head. And then the horse was let to roam free, horrifying all who encountered it. Incredibly, though, the brutal killing and degrading treatment of Vidal's body was just the start of his post-mortem story. Littlechild, honey, you need to read some of the things that, as far as Vlad Tepes, you need to read some of the things that people during medieval times did. Ever hear of somebody putting somebody's head on a pig pole? That was a deterrent.
What the fuck is a pig pole?
It's sort of any kind of stake that you can put a pig's head on or anything else's head. These were warnings.
Why just the head of the pig?
Well, if you put it through the whole body, then you get back to Vlad Tepes, who impaled people. Top to bottom, often.
I mean, if you want to make bacon, there you go. Just
You put it on a spit, and then you have to slowly rotate it over a fire.
No, you just put a couple of pieces of hay around it. Just let it... Witch style.
No, that's going to burn it. You terrible, terrible spit cook you would be. It says, from then on, the horse and its headless rider roamed the area. Spotted many times, it was said that bullets had no effect on either, and so the legend of El Muerto started to spread. This fearsome specter was said to be an omen of ill fate. Well, I can't see it being an omen of blessings.
No, me neither.
It's also said that the horse was finally captured along with Vidal's horribly wounded and sun-ravaged body. I don't think that's considered wounded. At that point, that's decimated or something like that. Anyhow, he was unceremoniously buried, but alleged sightings continued. In one notable 1917 encounter, a couple on their way to San Diego stated that a headless horseman had passed them on his steed, crying, "It is mine, it is mine." Wouldn't he have been speaking Spanish?
I'm assuming that's what he was saying in Spanish.
Maybe. I mean, it didn't say it was translated. And then again, decades later, in 1969, El Muerto was supposedly spotted near Freer. Is there any truth to the tale? Well, the major players were all real men, and the Rangers did publicly claim responsibility for the killing. They're said to have been markedly less rustling in the area in the aftermath of the event.
No shit.
Yeah, because sometimes you have to have a strong deterrent.
Yeah.
You know, smacking somebody on the hand and sending them back out, they're going to do the same thing the next day. We have evidence of that.
Yeah.
As for whether Vidal's spirit continues to ride around South Texas as El Muerto, there's really no saying, but sightings continue to be reported. In fact, the area of one supposed encounter was renamed Headless Horseman Hill. So
that's pretty cool.
That's pretty damn cool. And wouldn't that be a great tourist attraction?
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't you like to visit?
Oh, hell yeah. I want a t-shirt. You know?
Been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
So, but as far as Littlechild seemed a little uninformed, delicate something.
That's why he's called Littlechild. We need Big Child.
Yeah, absolutely. We need Littlechild to be replaced by a big man that has studied history and has known mankind's brutality to other people. But you don't steal somebody's horse, and you don't fuck with somebody's coffee. Ever. But, and we don't know how old Littlechild is, and he may be young, and he may not have studied history. I mean,
They may have not taught that.
Let's talk about the habit of the habit. I don't know if it was a habit, but they used to draw and quarter people. You know what that meant?
Yes.
Yes, time to 4 different horses, send them in different.
I get it. We get.
We actually have a book over there that we have not explored yet that was talk about sort of like crime and punishment. Through the ages.
Yes, and a lot of them are fucking horrific.
Fleeing was always something that, depending on the crime.
That movie.
There are crimes today that people should be flayed.
That damn movie.
Anybody who hurts a kid, yeah.
That damn movie that we watched not too long ago. It was probably like last year, but that's still not too long ago. Where the woman was walking around begging people, flay me. Flay me.
Did somebody finally
Yeah, someone finally flayed her.
Okay.
You know why? Because they were witches.
She was an idiot.
They were witches. And the one witch got young. And the other one was roaming around being like, help me.
I don't remember this movie. You'll have to remember the title. Obviously, it didn't
I don't remember the title,
me.
but I remember that part.
It didn't impress me. There's lots of things. I think there's like the legend of, I can't, if it was Prometheus or somebody like that. There was one of them that the ravens ate his liver.
Oh God!
Every day and every night it would grow back and lather, rinse, repeat. Then there was another one that had to roll this huge boulder uphill perpetually.
There was a Junji Ito comic of this woman, whatever being that was like part bird, and she would time travel, basically go into the past and hurt the victim, but go into the future to grab more food from the victim, from the corpse's body, and to feed the person.
That they're cannibalizing their own cells?
Yeah.
That's interesting. So,
being forced cannibalism. Mm-hmm. Forced cannibalism.
There was one of
eating yourself. Is it cannibalism if it's yourself?
Yes. There was one of the Freddy Krueger series things that had something similar to that, and I think that was when I stopped watching the movies. I'm like, this has just crossed a line for me.
It's fucked up.
It just, like I said, I can't remember if that was like number 3 or 4 or something. Somebody out there probably knows which one that it is.
Crossed a line for me.
It did. It really did. But as far as, I really like the Headless Horseman legends. I think those are cool.
Mm-hmm. I think they're cool too.
Yeah. And Washington Irving with, Ichabod Crane.
Yeah.
Which we had watched that, a few nights last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the Tim Burton version.
Yeah. Yeah, with Johnny Depp. We were sort of celebrating Johnny Depp's victory that night.
Yeah.
But
Amber Heard is still going to be in Aquaman 2. They should have fired her ass immediately, considering her co-stars don't even want her there.
I don't get into the pop stuff. I don't care enough to pay attention to it. I did hear about the trial primarily from some of the political commentators.
And me. And me.
And you. And your brother, for some reason, got caught up in... Put that damn thing up! He's messing with this spring, I swear. Anyhow, the Headless Horseman things. We may have the Headless Youngest Kid thing. Your head could be put on a pig pole outside, too.
And
we got the torches out there.
It would make a wonderful one. Flay it, and shrink it down.
No.
Turn me into a shrunken head.
You don't. The thing is, for somebody's head to be put on a pig pole, you don't want it flayed. You want people to know who it was.
That's why the shrunken head. Just turn me into a shrunken head.
No, that's
You can have both my skull on a pole and my actual skin
That is
on...
not how that works. You're missing the point on that. So that decapitation used to be that was a thing for centuries.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. This legend was, the origin of it was not that horrific compared to some of the things that we have studied.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Damn.
So, don't steal anybody's horse and don't fuck with anybody's coffee.
I mean, at least now you don't have to worry about people killing you if you steal a horse.
No, not usually.
It's just like, well, shit, someone stole my horse. Better call the cops.
Yeah. Right, like that's gonna happen.
Yeah. The cops are gonna laugh. Be like, they what? They stole what? They stole my horse.
Yeah, but I would sit there and that's about it. And this is what people don't understand. And I know I've said this before and I'm going to continue to say it. We are a minimum of 45 minutes away from as far as a cop responding. And there is no way in hell. This is the reason that we are equipped to take care of ourselves should need be.
You can actually hurt someone with a baby doll.
You really can. We found that out, that baby doll that we had as the backdrop a couple of days ago. It's pretty hard plastic, and especially if you filled it with nickels, that could work pretty good.
Yeah. And no one would know.
Mm-hmm.
No one would know. No one would expect a single thing from that damn thing.
But, so, yeah, El Muerto.
El Muerto.
I think it would be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you rather be known as a headless horseman than just a random horse thief? I think that the headless horseman is a much cooler way to go out than...
Oh, yeah. That's perfect.
Yeah. So, you got anything else about the headless horsemans? I'm going to have to end this before you flip that damn spring in my coffee and I hurt you.
Does his bones...
I don't want it. If it happens, I don't want evidence. I don't want evidence. And I don't want to have to edit.
How dare. How dare.
If you've had experiences with the paranormal, supernatural, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, headless horsemen.
Springs.
Oh, God, cat springs that ADHD kids... Yeah. If you've got local, regional, or family myths or legends, send us an email at cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. And the link for both the article and our email address will be in the description box. Mm-hmm. Know that you're loved.
Yes.
Have a sense of humor today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play with a spring.
Don't put the stuff in anybody's coffee.
Listen to the sound.
Enough. I swear to you, he could make noise with a cotton ball.
He
really could.
You actually can make noise with a cotton ball.
Do your shtick.
If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe. And click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all. Have a good. Get yourself a little plastic spring.
I need more coffee.
Slinky.
Oh, God. We'll see you on the next cup.
Yeah.
Bye.